Hey, how's it going, everyone? And today we're going to be talking about training basics, and we're going to be talking about reps, sets, and volume as well. And let's talk about reps first of all. And so, what are reps? So, what a rep simply is, though, is the act of contracting a muscle, the target muscle, and then also lengthening it as it goes on. Or in other words, shortening it and then lengthening it as you bring the weight or the act of resistance against that target muscle down. And what sets just simply are is an act of doing the act of performing a set number of reps in succession to each other. And there are many different kinds of which there can be high rep sets as well as low rep sets as well. And in terms of which one you should choose, well, in my own opinion, it would be that the benefits that low rep sets provide is that they are much less fatiguing than high rep sets, and it lets you get closer to failure without other factors coming in your way, such as conditioning and strain on your cardiovascular system. And it would be beneficial on highly fatiguing exercises such as squats, to be using those exercises to perform, because squats are insanely cardiovascularly fatiguing and not necessary, and it pretty much provides a very poor fatigue to stimulus ratio, and so it would be best to use low reps on that. However, though, high rep sets also have their place, and that's, for instance, on exercises where tons of joint strain will be implied onto, and exercises such as rear delt flies, where you basically grab and it could be either done on a reverse pec deck or also on the cables or with dumbbells, where you just basically cross your arms like this, something like that, and then you basically drive your elbows down a 45-degree angle to get the rear delts firing. And on those exercises, there is tons of strain that takes place internally within the shoulder joint, and so it would be a lot smarter to be programming them with high reps. And also, it will not be as systemic fatiguing as with barbell squats as what rear delt flies will be, since they don't really necessarily take a lot of strain on cardiovascular system. And also on any other exercise that actually does create such systemic fatigue that, so as well as the case with any other exercise that creates high degrees of stress on your joints, such as, if you really want to bench an enormous amount but you're limited by your shoulder, then it would always be smart to go for less weight for higher reps to be able to still make progress, but also save your joints as well, to save your shoulder joint. And what we'll also talk about is volume. And what volume pretty much is sets times reps is a number of sets you do times the number of reps within each set times by the weight that gets used within that. And I'm not necessarily an expert with what volume is, but all I just usually do is I usually just train to failure on my exercises that I usually do. because screw volume and screw that BS, because it isn't really something you really need to worry so much about. But what is something you need to worry about in terms of building muscle and on your physique journey is to train very hard. And what we're going to then talk about within the next video is going to be training intensity and how close to failure should you really be training. And yeah, we'll see you on that video then.